Shri Krishna Murari, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari,
Bhakti Priti Malachandan, Bhakti
Priti Malachandan,
Bhakti Priti Malachandan,
Bhakti Priti Malachandan,
Tumidiyo hai liyo Chittanandan,
Tumidiyo hai liyo Chittanandan,
Tumidiyo hai liyo Chittanandan,
Tumidiyo hai liyo Chittanandan,
Jivana Marana Tava Puja Nivedan,
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 Sundara hai Manahari,
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 Nanda Kumar Nanda Kumar
Nanda Kumar, Nanda Kumar,
Nanda Kumar Nanda Kumar
Nanda Kumar, Nanda Kumar,
Be Prema Pradipe Arati Toma
Prema Pradipe Arati Toma,
Prema Pradipe Arati Toma
Prema Pradipe Arati Toma,
Ayana Jamuna Jarayaniva
Nayana Jamuna Jare Animan,
Ayana Jamuna Jarayaniva
Nayana Jamuna Jare Animan,
Ayana Jamuna Jarayaniva
Nayana Jamuna Jare Animan,
Tomara Virahe Giridhari
Tumhara Virahe Giridhari,
Tomara Virahe Giridhari
Tumhara Virahe Giridhari,
Tomara Virahe Giridhari
Tumhara Virahe Giridhari,
Bandhana Gane Tava Bhajog Jivana
Bandhana Gane Tava Bhajog Jivana,
Bandhana Gane Tava Bhajog Jivana
Bandhana Gane Tava Bhajog Jivana,
Krishna Murari
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari,
Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari,
Krishna Murari
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari,
Mama Mana Mandire Ranishide
Mama Mana Mandire Rahoshide,
Mama Mana Mandire Ranishide
Mama Mana Mandire Shri Krishna Murari,
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari,
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Yam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Majnanatimidandasya
Mirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatagine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute
Jayam Surataupan Gormo Manda Materagate Matsarvasva Padam Bhojau Radha Madanamokno Divyad Vrundaranya Kalpandrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasthau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshthalibihi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambhi Vamshi Vada Tadastitaha Karshan Venu Sunair Gopi Gopinatha Shriyestunaha
Tanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Ready for homework? We start with Suhas.
I'll try Prabhu.
Go ahead.
Aham sarvasya Prabhu matta sarvam parayanah
Rana.
pravartate.
Next.
Aham sarvasya Prabhu matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam vidha bhava.
Amazing. Good. Srini already knows. Skip. Raji knows. Did you learn yesterday or you already know? Already know. Okay, skip. Ashutosh.
Aham sarvasya
Okay, Pritam didn't know. Mataji knew, didn't learn. Suveda also already knows. Already know, I guess. Learn.
अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्ता सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मम इति मत्वा भजन्ते मम
Last line. Do it. You can do it. Come on.
भाव समन्वय
Riva! Good job. Yes, Kalyaji. Yes, sorry bro. सीखे नहीं? चलो okay. Yes, go ahead. Very good. Hari bol. Last word. Bhava. Very good. Very good. क्यों नहीं सीखे?
याद नहीं होता।
अच्छा, सुबह तो मैसेज भेज देना।
नहीं, मैंने पढ़ा भी, उसका मीनिंग भी पढ़ा,
हाँ।
और ऐसे 10-15 बार, 20 बार, 50 बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा तब जाके याद होता है।
Yes.
नहीं।
No problem. Who did the other exercise? Reading 12th chapter Gita, 13th verse to 21. So that's it. Nobody else? You did quick. मतलब quick क्या होता है? Read. Suhas?
I mean, like, I got the gist of it. Like, Krishna, he's explaining who is dear to him.
But did you read or not?
No, only first two slokas.
First two slokas you read.
All sloka is telling about
Who is dear to me?
the
qualities and,
Yeah.
in all 13 to 20 slokas. I read it with
That's okay, good. At least you gave a shot. Full. Vivek bro, you read all the slokas?
I didn't read like yesterday, but I've read it before, so.
Okay. Sini, you read?
Read the translations from.
Translation, no problem. Good. Okay. Monitor. क्या हो रहा है?
Monitor को बता दे। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र 10 times. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र 10 times. मिट्टी में।
कौन से 8 times? 1080 times. To monitor.
क्या? मैं जब 10 बार पढ़ लूंगा, ग्रुप पे मैसेज भेज दूंगा कि मैंने 10 बार पढ़ लिया, अब अपना 5 बार ही बता देना।
Good. Chalo, nice. So let's. Who read the meaning of 10.8? Anybody read? 10.8 meaning. Louder. Yes.
And the wise men and learned men who know this bhajante mam. I'm not getting the word for bhajante.
Yeah.
Worship me.
Yeah.
True essence.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So Krishna is saying he is the cause of all causes. Everything comes from him. He is the Prabhu of everything. He is the master. Remember yesterday we were discussing about service. What we were discussing about service? Yesterday.
Radharani is the inspiration of all the service.
No, Radharani is the source of
Source of,
inspiration.
yeah. Source of inspiration for.
No, service. Krishna has to be the center of service. Yes. What else? How we do service?
Like when someone monitors us, then we do service.
Selfless.
No, we do service in which we are centers. That's how we do service. And then we discussed how, as such, if we understand this foundational relationship between any living entity and Krishna, and then we can actually then perform other. We were discussing about which example I took in Vrindavan. I took a Vrindavan example yesterday. Krishna doing something in Vrindavan. This was yesterday only. Maybe less than 24 hours ago. We came a bit later.
उतरने के बाद मेमोरी उतर गया.
नीचे ही छोड़ दिया memory. Oh, then it should have been here then.
They have hid it somewhere between these two.
गाड़ दिया कहीं.
No, in Vrindavan. I took the example of the Gopas playing ball with Krishna, remember?
Only for the pleasure of Krishna.
They play not for the pleasure of themselves, but
For the pleasure of
they want to give happiness to Krishna. So they are playing. It looks like they are doing a mundane activity, but then the goal is very different than how we can also play balls. Right? So perhaps we have played this. How many of us played with balls? Like there was a game when we were kids, we were playing like
Markutai.
you have to throw, you have to hit someone, right?
Lagori.
बीच का बंदर.
Lagori.
नहीं
Like
Markutai.
just like a ball.
Dodgeball.
मुझे याद नहीं है.
Two groups and then just throwing ball at each other.
Dodge the ball.
So they used to also play that, and then they used to also beat Krishna. And they are throwing things at Krishna. Krishna used to get defeated.
It was there yesterday also.
So they used to play with Krishna in a way that Krishna is even getting defeated. But then you can imagine how is the difference in consciousness then, that they are just not thinking for themselves at all. It's just thinking, I'm defeating Krishna but for Krishna's pleasure. Can you imagine this? I'm not playing because I want to become happy. I'm playing in a way that I'm even defeating Krishna, but then for Krishna's pleasure, because I discussed even the other half of it. What was that? One half is that devotees want to make Krishna happy. The other half is Krishna wants to make devotees happy. Right? It's an amazing combination. It's a great combination, wherein there is an absolutely amazing personality who can do anything and everything, but is being a very common boy, extremely normal person, and is having unlimited number of friends, and they're exchanging their activities, they're doing things, they're playing, they're interacting, all these things on a supremely high platform than what we operate with, because the consciousness is very different. Good. So, anybody else remembers anything else which we were discussing yesterday? Vidura's wife? What was the context? What was the context?
That Krishna is only after love.
Krishna is looking only for love, nothing else. Yes. So this shloka is also Krishna is telling Buddha Bhava Samanvita. So intelligent people, but you're not offering your intelligence. Intelligent people are offering their hearts. Amazing, right? You need to be intelligent, but then Krishna is not after your, how much intellect this person has. Krishna is behind how much love this person has. There is a story of Durvas Muni and Ambarish Maharaj. Who is Durvasa, Ruba? Who is Durvasa? Shivji ka kya?
गुस्सा रहता है.
Hare Krishna, yes. He is Amsha of Shiva. Very easily pleased, very easily also becoming angry. He comes to the kingdom of Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish was doing what? Ambarish, yeah, he had performed Ekadashi he was practicing Ekadashi for 1 full year, in a sense that every Ekadashi he would practice, not the way we do it. Usually in very technical terms it starts on a Dashami, and then you sort of prepare yourself for Ekadashi, and then ends with also fasting on Dwadashi, right? So it's like 3 days. So every Ekadashi he would do like that for a year, and then at the end of the year there was a time wherein now there is a Parana time. You are supposed to break the fast of Ekadashi, and that time Durvasa walks in. I have discussed this before. What is the culture of Vedic life? When? Not someone. No. Not guests. Atithi. Somebody comes without
Informing.
any appointments. What do you do?
We attend.
We treat them.
You treat them like God. Yeah? Atithi Devo Bhava. So Durvasa is sort of is feeling, yes, anyway, I'm here at the kingdom of Ambrish. And Ambrish anyway also took very nice care of him. He goes and respects him, falls at his feet, tells, "No, thank you, you have come, you purify my kingdom. I want to serve you." No, later. Because it starts raining. Pray to
Just
Gurudev
clouds,
that
clouds today.
is it going to rain? Can you check?
It's just clouds today. Let me check again.
If there is rain, we may have to start walking down. Told, yeah, I'll just go and take my my shower. Not shower, but river bath. And I'll come back very soon and you can serve. So he went. And he submerged himself in the water. He put himself in the water, he just lost external consciousness. Like how we also lose ourselves when we watch IPL now. IPL? Yes?
RCB fan.
RCB. Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Amazing. Loyal.
From last
The
14
definition
years
of loyalty.
Since 2011.
सारा cup number है.
Good. Anyway, so people of this world also getting lost for many things, but this guy is now lost in transcendence. He just submerges, puts himself in the water, and that's it, done. End of story. On the other side, Ambrish is waiting and his priests tell him that now there is Parana time is getting over now. You need to really break your fast. Ambrish is like, no, I don't. No, there is an atithi. The culture is that you first serve atithi and then you take yourself. But then, no, but we need. Time is passing. If you don't do this, then the entire years, it's all gone. So then it was decided that you will just take water and then they would wait for Ambrish, for Durvas to come. So he just took one sip of water. Then Durvas eventually realizes, oh, somebody was waiting for me. He comes out. And he came out, he understood this guy has consumed without giving it to me. And he comes and sees Ambrish and becomes so angry. Unreasonably angry. There is no need at all. He becomes so angry. But then Durvas became angry. And then sometimes when people are angry, it just goes beyond your control. You don't even realize like what is going on. New guests. And this guy becomes so angry, like he's like, maybe you have seen pictures where people are like trying to pull their hairs off. Anger. See? Like anger. There is like a gif also. Angry, like pulling the hair off. This guy is like that, and then he just pulls his hair, which is quite painful if you want to pull your hair off. Right? But then if someone is angry, they're not really realizing ho kya raha hai life mein. Like because anger has taken over. He just pulls the hair off, throws on the ground and tells, actually creates a huge demon. Let's go and kill this person. Can you imagine? All for what? Like just breaking the fast. It was also done not for his own sake, but for the sake of the people in general. And yeah, the beauty is that Ambrish, when this demon came to attack, is like a Rakshas creature, huge creation, just attacked Ambarish. Srimad Bhagavatam tells Ambarish didn't even step one back. He didn't even move like this. Something is just coming to attack you. Hare Krishna. Where is Raghav? We have to keep an eye here. This is Abhishek Prabhu and Mansi ji. They're from Brazil. So Ambarish didn't even, not even one step back. Can you imagine the kind of personality Ambarish is? He was such an amazing person that Lord Vishnu was so happy with him. He had told that, you are an amazing person. I want to make sure that you are protected all the time. So I'm giving you my chakra. Take it. So Sudarshan was always with Ambarish. So Sudarshan chakra was always with Ambarish. Standing. Bhagavatam doesn't describe exactly whether people were able to see Sudarshan or not, but Sudarshan was with Ambarish. But that's not just it. Ambarish's own conviction about whatever is going to happen anyway is Krishna's hands in it. See, in the earlier stages of our bhakti, we understand deities. Yeah, this is Krishna, and that's it. In the later stages of bhakti, we understand, okay, there are deities and there are also devotees. Right? So we care for both. We care for deities also, we care for devotees also. The most advanced form of bhakti, you see Krishna everywhere. That's the consciousness of Mahabhagavad devotees. Ambarish, Prahlad. These people live like that. For them, anyway, Krishna is taking care all the time. I am being protected all the time. Krishna is going to maintain me all the time. So they live in what's called a Sharanagati. They live in Prapatti. And when this demon came, so Ambarish didn't even react basically. He was just. But then Sudarshan felt extremely offended. Mere hute, some ordinary person's hair created demon can come and affect my devotee? That's not acceptable. Sudarshan just destroyed that demon right away. Sudarshan is such a personality that once he gets onto action, make sure that root cause is eliminated, not just immediate situation. Sudarshan, clears the root cause. So once the demon was killed, so okay, here, this guy, he was the one who created. So Rat took care Durvas. Now on a stark contrast, Durvas started running straight away. As soon as Sudarshan came, he went to all the devatas. First he goes to the entire universe, all the corners of the universe. And then he went to devatas. And then he went to Lord Brahma. Then he went to Lord Shiva. Then he went to Vishnu. Now all this while, Bhagavatam explains that Sudarshan is just in the neck. He's just coming. So you can actually see if Sudarshan really wanted to kill Kale, he would have killed it, right? It's not that Durvas is matching the speed of Sudarshan. Sudarshan is just coming. Durvas is able to feel the heat. Because Sudarshan is fire, right? Chakraman is fire. So Durvas is able to feel the heat a little bit, but then it's not really cutting yet. Durvas is thinking, I'll put enough strength now, I'll just run faster, much more faster. I'll somehow run away. Then neither Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, nobody could help it. So he goes to Vaikuntha. He tells to Vishnu, falls at the feet of Vishnu and tells, please, your Ayudha is coming. Please protect. And it's so beautiful in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna tells Durvas, Vishnu says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. I am Bhakta Paradhina. You know what is Paradhina?
I am bound to my devotees.
Yes, like India was Paradhina of British. Yeah. You're basically a few things. Somebody else is controlling you. they can do whatever they want to do with you, not just control. So you are totally at the mercy of other person. That's the meaning of paradhina. So Vishnu is telling, aham bhakta paradhina. I am absolutely under the control of my devotees. Swatantra. I have no independence whatsoever. See, that's heart of Krishna. He has a heart which only resonates with his devotees. And devotees, there are people like us. We can also be like that. I mean, our heart just resonates for Krishna. Understanding that Krishna is my master, and then in that relationship, I can have different reciprocation there. I can exchange madhurya, or vatsalya, or sakhya, or shanta, or dasya, or virya, or whatever. Doesn't matter. But foundational thing is Krishna is the master. I want to serve him for his pleasure. This is not a normal vatsalya wherein, see, many of us have children, babies, kids. Even when we serve, we may tell that no, that other person is, no, but they are not the center, we are the center. This is very deep, you need to really think about it. Even when we are serving our kids, they are not really, the center is us only. What is the proof? Why not to everyone else? Right? Center is us only. I'm loving because this is mine. Yeah? This is not.
Can you speak louder?
Yes, but maybe
Also-
perhaps it's because of the air also. It's not going behind maybe. Maybe it can come here, sit here. Is it okay?
No.
I'll try to speak louder, but perhaps it's not going back.
Mataji told something to me.
Yeah, Mataji's voice we could not hear. I said that when Prabhu asked why it's a selfish image, I said, Mera bacha, Mera beta, because that's the thought in it.
So the center is not the baby.
Prabhuji, we can hear you loud.
Okay, good. Thank you. Better to be the back. The center is us. It's because of me. We think that, that's, I'm just doing selfless love and all. No, sorry. Unfortunately.
Also, we want them to follow our rules.
Yeah, so this is just, it's very clear if you think about it. Any relationship which we get into, center is ourselves. This is how we live. Every single relationship, we are the center. We think that no, the other person is center. But then this devotees with Krishna, it's a different dynamics altogether. All of them, they love Krishna more and Krishna loves them so much. Because there is the foundational understanding is very clear that I am the servant. Yeah, I'm serving in different bhava and different results, that's fine, but I'm servant. So nobody's thinking that I want to enjoy. Nobody's thinking that, yeah, I'll do this, I'll go dance with Krishna or play with Krishna or do whatever with Krishna and I want to enjoy. No, I want to make Krishna happy. And in that process, everybody becomes happy. So Vishnu tells, I'm just under the control of my devotees and they are ready to do anything for me and I am also ready to do anything for them. Krishna can lie, cheat, do whatever if he has to protect his devotees. He had taken a vow in Mahabharata war that I will not lift any weapon. You know the story, right? When Duryodhana and Arjuna, they both came to Krishna. Know the story? And then?
So when he was asking both of
No,
them,
what was Krishna doing that time?
sleeping.
He was taking rest. And that time what happens? Yeah. And Arjun? Arjun was in the feet. Yeah, good. Then Krishna opens his eyes.
And saw Arjuna
Arjuna
first.
first. And anyway, then he tells Arjuna is younger, so he better go ask him first. He tells people should give priority. He tells, I know why you both have come. Here is the dynamics. The enemy sees that I'm not going to fight. I have the entire army. So you choose. Duryodhana was like, अब तो गए. Right? What is this equation? Entire army versus one person who is not going to fight. Duryodhana was like, he was so upset. Like, this is a lost match. I can't win this anymore. It's gone. The entire army of Narayani Sainya is there. Duryodhana was so crooked that even before coming, he had already made a bit of agreement with Kritavarma already. Even if something happens, you be on my side. Even if I don't get, so I had already made some arrangements. He said, okay, maybe I'm just left with Kritavarma now. It's just really sad. Arjuna tells,
That I am
I want you, Krishna. You fight, not fight, I want you. And Duryodhana is like so happy now. Wow! This guy doesn't know what to choose. Right? You see, this is the heart of the devotees. They don't really care for what is there with Krishna, what Krishna is going to bring me. They just want to be with Krishna. Even if the entirety of creation is on offer, Krishna is on the other side. The devotees' hearts naturally resonate for Krishna. In physics, there's something called as resonant frequency. Every object has a resonant frequency. Prahlad, no.
కూర్చోపు అమ్మ దగ్గర కూర్చోపు
So devotees' hearts and Krishna's heart, it's an amazing sync all the time. They both resonate in the same frequency. And they just, both of them want each other, that's it, nothing else. It's like, if there is a magnet. You seen magnet? All of you seen magnets? Anybody has not seen magnets? Magnet with iron particles. So when, if the magnet is there, the iron particles are there, it's so natural for iron particles to just get attracted. You don't need to tell them, chalo, okay, magnet again, chalo. You don't need to push iron particles. Okay, chalo, go and attach yours. They are naturally inclined. They gravitate, they move, they, naturally their heart is inclined towards Krishna. That's devotee. Just like iron particles. And once they go and, same example of iron particles magnet, if you, I don't know if you have done this when you were a kid, if you try to move it, there is actually a repulsive force. They don't let come out, right? Of course, if you have pulled too much, but then they will come out. So even when they are attached to the magnet, still there is a force. It's not that there is just static thing there. So when devotees are with Krishna, then there is a relationship already, and there is so much going on within. I think we have seen Little Krishna, we have read some Bhagavatam chapters, but it is so boring. Like, just Bhagavatam describes like 40-50 chapters of what Vrindavan life is. Around 40 chapters. That's it. But you need to also understand that this Bhagavatam, what we have, is not the entirety of what Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit. Shukadeva and Parikshit were talking. But not the entirety of it is Srimad Bhagavatam, what we have. Because there were other set of sages in Naimisharanya, they asked some questions to Shukadeva. He cherry picked the answers from the conversations between Parikshit and Shukadeva. This is not the entirety of it, because entirety of Bhagavatam, what we have is 18,000 verses. To recite 18,000 verses, you don't need 7 days. If you're doing it. The Gita we study on the day of Gita Jayanti, we do entire Gita 2.5 hours, 700 done. Right? So if you extrapolate, let's say 3 hours is 1,000. 1854 hours done. 7 days has more. 168 hours. How much? 24 by 7?
168.
168, right? Sure?
I just calculated 168.
Yeah, yes, 168. I didn't calculate, but I was thinking. Anyway, so 54 hours is still considerably less than 168, right? If they were just talking, it would be getting over very soon. And also Bhagavatam, the entire first canto is not much conversations between Shukadeva and Parikshit. Portion of 12th canto is also not conversation between Parikshit and Shukadeva. So this is not the full of it. We have been given some sections which are good for us. Yeah. Devatas has access perhaps to the entirety of conversation. So perhaps there is a bit of things which we don't have access to. That's fine. Even if we get that, still it is limited. But then, if someone is with Krishna, that time is not like this time. Right? Acharyas explained that when Krishna was with the gopis on this Sharad Purnima night, he made the night of this night, he made that to be a night of Brahma. That's 4.32 billion years in our calculation. So Krishna and gopis were there together for 4.32 billion years. That happened in a short term of our night here. Because Krishna is time, he can expand time. Krishna is space, he can expand space also. So the moment someone is actually in connection with Krishna, they transcend this time and space concept. If someone is truly, okay, not telling about people like us, we are not. We are very much within the boundary of time and space, boundary of karma siddhanta. So bhakti is dynamic then. And Krishna can do whatever. And devotee just choose Krishna irrespective of what Krishna is going to do or not do. And Krishna is such an amazing person. He just gave this word, I'm not going to fight. But when there is a situation, Arjuna is about to die, Krishna was so angry. He wanted to kill Bhishma. So he did lift a weapon, broken chariot wheel. And Krishna lifted the weapon again to protect Parikshit Maharaj. As such, it was still Mahabharata war going on. Ashwatthama has released a Brahmastra to kill Parikshit. Krishna goes there within the womb of Mother Uttara with his weapons. And he's protecting Parikshit. So Krishna, he can just break his... It really doesn't matter for him. You know, who is going to tell what? If it comes to his devotee's protection, he will just do it. So this is a person whose heart is also always, it's having a resonant frequency towards the devotees, that I want to serve my devotees, want to make them happy and want to see them happy. And devotees also want this amazing union then. And to understand this, Krishna is telling you have to have intelligence. But then it's not the intelligence which Krishna is looking after, but you need to surrender with your heart. So that is the verse which we discussed yesterday. Aham sarvasya prabhava mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Those who are intelligent, they will surrender with this understanding in their hearts. So that is sambandha, the relationship. The foundation relationship with me and Krishna, foundational is Krishna is my master, I am his servant. I want to serve Krishna, I want to make Krishna happy. That's the foundation relationship. Everything else is fine, but it's the foundation. It's never ever, for the sake of Leela, you still tell, oh no, Radharani becomes angry and Krishna and this happens, that happens. No, that's fine. But Radharani never thinks that she is the boss in her heart. I want to control Krishna in a way that I want to become happy myself at the expense of Krishna. Never. Yeah. So, good. So we move on. 10th chapter, 9th shloka then.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what happened when he went to Bhagwan Vishnu and Vishnu said that I am adhin to my devotees?
Yes. So
And then-
Vishnu tells that you go and surrender to Ambarish. He is the only person who can protect. So Durvasa ran back. And this whole episode took 1 year. And for 1 year, this guy Ambarish is not even eating, not drinking, nothing. Last meal he took was the sip of water which he has consumed. Right? He's just waiting. For his Ekadashi Vrat was simple. Every 15 every 15 days you have to like 2-3 days you have to fast. Now for one whole year he's just fully fasting. He's waiting. Oh, I had a guest. He's going to come back. So after 1 year, Durvasa ran back and falls at the feet of Ambarish. Yeah. Then Durvasa is offering prayers like, sorry, I offended you. I should not have done this. But then Ambarish is not like, oh, finally this guy came to his senses. Yeah. You didn't know who am I, right? You got to know now. Very good. That was not how he was feeling. He just lifts him, embraces him, but then Chakra is still there. Right? It has gone until Vaikuntha had come back. And then Durvasa says like, please save my life. And Ambarish starts offering to Sudarshan that you are the cause of the creation. It's because of you the entirety of creation is existing. And if in my entire lineage पूरा खानदान में अगर कोई भी if someone has done anything which has pleased Krishna, please forgive this Brahmana. Can you imagine the kind of humility Ambarish is? He's not telling that, just great Sudarshan, you did a good job, taught him a lesson, amazing, good job, let's meet again. So Ambarish is telling, forget me, I have nothing. Right now, I'm no one. In my entire lineage, if someone has done anything which has pleased you, which is, please forgive. And then Sudarshan then disappears, and Ambarish exemplifies the heart of a devotee, and Durvasa understands the heart of devotee also. God, these are like not normal people, extraordinary personalities. The meaning of Mahabhagavad. Extraordinary personalities. They don't operate like how we all operate. We all operate extremely selfish ways. Our heart is fully selfish. No matter how much we try to give an impression outside that no, I'm a great personality, our heart is selfish. Mahabhagavad devotees operate in a very different plane of existence. Their heart is very different. They behave, act very different. Yes, Kanish, you also had a question? Yes, please. Yes. Krishna protect Abhimanyu when he was alone in the Chakravyu. Got stuck inside and then was killed in a very inhuman, brutal way. And then why not the 5 sons of Pandavas also, the sons of Draupadi? Second question, I don't know. First question, Abhimanyu, what I have heard is that he was the son of Chandra. So when Krishna came, when the entirety of the Mahabharata and all these things are happening, many of the devatas were also coming to help Krishna's cause. And what I have heard is that Abhimanyu was in his position, his son of Chandra was given on a how do you say this, car lease, right? He was given on a lease. Loan lease. Right? So it can take him for some time, but I want my son as soon as possible. So it was his scheduled time. Okay, he's going to be there in this. He's going to perform this one activity, which is a great service to Krishna. He's going to come back. I don't know what exactly the story between sons of Pandavas. Actually, don't know. Sorry for that. It also shows how cunning the Dhritarashtra sides were, because many times people think that Karna is a great warrior, such a great charity person and all these things. It's just clear some misinformation. Krishna also arranges situations wherein the inner character comes out. All these people were just so much selfish, self-centered people that when it was the question of their own existence being not threatened by the presence of Abhimanyu, they wanted to capture Yudhishthira and then finish the battle. But then Abhimanyu entered inside in the place of Yudhishthira. And then Abhimanyu started fighting in such an amazing, chivalrous manner that he defeated Drona, Karna, Ashwathama, Duryodhana, Dushasana. Everyone were coming. And Abhimanyu is just defeating them and they're all just getting retired hurt. Going back, somebody else is coming. After some time, they're like, Drona and Karna start speaking that, as such, we all have been defeated now. If we continue like this, it's going to be a different end today. It's not going to be the same end what we anticipated. This guy is going to finish the war today because he'll be killing all of us. And because somebody had to go now. Everybody is retired hurt. And they come forward to fight, they get defeated and go back. So then Drona and Karna and all of them, they made a plan that we'll just attack together. Somebody will attack from the back, somebody will attack the chariot, somebody will kill the horses, someone will break the bow and arrow, somebody will kill the chariot driver. So they made a plot wherein multiple people from all around are attacking one person, and then that's how Abhimanyu got down from the chariot, and because his whole chariot is broken, and he takes his gada, the club, and comes back, and even on his whole body is bleeding, and then he takes his gada and kills Duryodhana's son. Even in that, like everybody is attacking him, but then still. At that time, even Drona and Karna, everybody applauded, like, this is like, here is a Kshatriya. But then their heart doesn't melt real, they kill anyways. So, when Karna was about to be shot by Arjuna, Krishna actually tells them. Because Karna tells Arjuna that follow Kshatriya code of conduct, don't go with the word of Krishna, you should not fight when I am, trying to lift my chariot's wheel, and it is not Kshatriya conduct that, you shoot at a person who is not even armed. He was talking with Arjuna, and Krishna didn't even let Arjuna to respond back. Krishna takes himself. He tells, where was your code of conduct when you were shooting at Abhimanyu and trying to kill him? Where was it? So, as such, in one way, Krishna was orchestrating everything, but it also then shows the heart of other side of people. It was their heart, filled with malicious intent. The meaning also, look at the word Duryodhana, Duhu, Yodhana. This guy is having no stable dharmic views. When it's on the battle for him, he has to win. That's it. The only thing is no matters for him. Look at the Yudhishthira. This guy is. It doesn't matter whether he loses, wins, whatever. Make sure that he is following Dharma. Anyway, so yeah, next question.
Yeah, next question is about the Aditi that you mentioned. So now I understand Aditi in today's time is
Aditi in today's time is a headache. Right?
समझ में नहीं आया दोबारा
It's really a headache.
In today's time is a headache. सिर दर्द है अगर कोई uninvited आ जाता है तो.
Yeah, if someone comes, okay, maybe first time. See, even if I come, right? Like let's say I go to Srini's, I'll be extremely honest. Yeah. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, some like just random, right? Randomly I show up. Random. On a very random thing.
Please
Right?
come, Prabhu.
I come and they just come and knock and tell that I want food right now. Right now. I want dosa right now. Make me dosa right now. So, yeah, first day he'll be like, sure, Dilapur Prabhu is here, let's do it. Right? Second is also okay, third day is also okay. But then how long? Someone, he will be like, yeah, bro. Eventually it will pick up, right? Like,
Then it will become Acharya Deva.
So yeah, it's a headache in Kali Yuga to sort of practice all these things in a way which makes sense.
का मतलब होता है बिना डेट के बताया ना, लेकिन कितना दिन रहेगा उसका वो नहीं है.
नहीं. Yeah. Somebody just shows up. That's it, right? And right. Not like now that we make an appointment. कि चलो.
अब प्रभु जी मेरे घर पे आ जाना, मैं नहीं होऊंगा.
Yes. What is the question?
Question is, if you fail to treat people,
Yeah.
it can happen, right? Sometimes some people come and we are busy or we have some other plans.
Yes. Yes.
If you are unable to honor them,
Yeah.
then what?
Well, as such, we get a bad karma. But then comparing that with everything else, what we do in Kali Yuga, perhaps it's not that big, perhaps. In previous ages, people were living a life which were very different, Kali Yuga. Very different. Now, yeah, we live a life which is so mechanical and not sensitive enough to live Vedic dharma. So that's okay. We just need to be practical now. I think the principle has to be applied. Many times it will be difficult to apply the rule as is. The principle has to be applied. That if someone comes, maybe I was supposed to go somewhere. Maybe I have an appointment for something really serious. At least I should not become agitated in the heart that this guy showed up without me. I can still treat, in the time, place, circumstance, whichever I have been put in, I can still treat in a way that is fine. Shastras gives the example of Bhishma Dev when he was in the bed of arrows. Story, right? Bhishma was in the bed of arrows and not even place to keep one finger inside. So many arrows, can't even put a finger. Imagine the amount of pain. Some small cut here, I feel like I'd cry away. Entire body is pierced and the guy is lying on it. But then, as and when people who come, all the devatas are showing up, all the sages are showing up, everybody is showing up. What can Bhishma do? How can he serve? The Mahabharata and Bhagavatam we study, as people would come just with his eyes, like today morning, Pashat was showing the picture, right? Like in eyes you can express us. Just with his eyes movement, he was treating all the seniors, the equals and all the juniors in a way that everybody felt in their heart, wow, I went to this person, nobody make an appointment, really. Bhishma, can I come now? Is it a good time? Can I come? Nobody is telling like this to Bhishma, they are just showing up. And not just 1-2 people. The entire assembly of devatas are coming, sages are coming. Bhishma is looking at everyone and just treating them accordingly, just by his vision. So, time and circumstances, we can make some adjustments, at least not become agitated in the heart. Maybe we just give it to somebody else, and then if nobody else, yes, Preetam.
Prabhu, you spoke about Mahabhagat like Amrish, and also you spoke about devotees like Arjun, and but what qualities do we take from these devotees that we can implement practically in Kali Yuga?
Very good. We need to first understand that I need to improve. It's the first thing. We need to make a firm determination inside that I want to improve from where I am standing right now. Mahabharata tells Mahajanoyena Kathasapanta. Verse is that if you read Vedas, chances are high that you will just get carried away. So there's so many of them, and giving so many different views. Even though Vyasdeva has compiled all of it, but if someone is just doing it as an exercise, chances are high that they will get carried away. Also understand. And then it tells, okay, so Vedas, well, you can't really just by understanding. If someone wants to just practice rituals or something like that, also so many. So like this Mahabharata tells, and then it tells the only way out from here is, it also tells one more thing. If someone wants to approach some Muni, and there are also so many Munis. Narada has his view, somebody else has their view, Saintri has some other view. You start going to these people, that you may also get, because the definition of Muni is they have their own theory. Also is impractical to come to the truth. Mahabharata tells Mahajanayena Gathasapanta. follow the Mahajanas. And who are the Mahajanas? Srimad Bhagavatam explains. Yamaraj explains to his followers. The case of Ajamil. Ajamil was not able to be taken up by the Yamadutas. Yamadutas go back to Yamaraj and ask, like, we were first time in our life, we were stopped by someone. Our service was cut short. Who are these people? And Yamaraj starts explaining that, yeah, these are the servants of Vishnu, Vishnudutas. And if they are there, nobody can really cross their law and order. Even I follow them, not just me, but all the Mahajanas. Like Brahma, Lord Shiva, Swayambhuva Manu, Narada, Vyasa, Shukadev. All these people, the four Kumaras, they are Mahabhagavats. And so Shastra is telling that one should then follow the footsteps of these Mahabhagavad devotees. And the question is, what can we do practically? The practical thing is we should start studying Bhagavatam. Understand these people's hearts. Right? That's the whole thing about Bhagavatam. To understand how these people's hearts really work. What exactly happened and what is the person actually doing in this situation. Then you understand, wow, this is how these people are. Arjuna, last week we were doing a class in Alphandera and we were discussing about Arjuna's situation. Arjuna forgot everything, whatever he was known for, he was meant for. God couldn't even shoot an arrow anymore. But then he surrendered to Krishna at that point of time. It's not natural for people like us. We freak out.